Please tell us about the background and inspiration behind the creation of Wistoria Wand and Sword.
To be blunt, the project just before Wistoria was struggling. We decided to put that project on hold, and after much deliberation, I circled back to create a straightforward and easy-to-understand work, which became Wistoria.
It's interesting that although the story is set in a magic school, the protagonist Will cannot use magic, right?
Since I come from a light novel background, rather than being primarily a manga writer, I thought the setting of a protagonist who can't use magic was pretty standard. I didn't feel much discomfort with it and was able to pitch the idea to the editor smoothly. Additionally, I had been familiar with Mr. Aoi's incredible artwork long before Wistoria was released. I felt his drawings would really shine in action scenes involving swordplay and movement, so I believe the current manga style naturally came about.
What made you decide to team up with Aoi-sensei for the manga Wistoria?
That's because I completely fell in love with his art at first sight.
Actually, the person we initially planned to ask for the manga artwork had to leave the project due to various circumstances. However, since that person's art quality was very high, I became greedy and wanted to work with someone who had equal or even greater skill. While searching together with the editor, we came across Mr. Aoi.
You were looking for a new artist for about 2 to 3 years, right?
That's right.
What was Mr. Aoi's work situation like around that time?
Wistoria is my first serialized manga, so to put it bluntly, I was unemployed before that. However, from the previous work before Wistoria through the period when I was conceptualizing the art for Wistoria, I was hired as an assistant on the manga Blue Lock and worked there until just before my serialization. At that time, I had just won the Jump Paint Art Manga Award and was aiming to get serialized in a manga magazine. It was through my editor that I received the offer to work on the Wistoria manga. Honestly, I was half in disbelief. I even prepared some art materials for Wistoria, but since the story was by Ōmori sensei of Danmachi fame, I thought, there's no way this will be chosen. But my editor casually told me, "You've been decided as the artist," which was quite surprising.
I have absolutely no skill in drawing manga, so I approached the manga story creation as a beginner. That's why when I found Aoi-sensei's art, I was amazed, thinking there's someone like this even before their serialization.
I'm truly honored.
So, from Ōmori-sensei's perspective, it was like discovering an amazing gem in a mine.
Or maybe like a genie from a lamp. I remember telling the editor, I won't let such an amazing person slip away again.
When Aoi-sensei received the explanation of the Wistoria setting and plot from Ōmori-sensei, what were your impressions?
At first, the protagonist's character was somewhat different from how it is now, wasn't it?
Yes. At that time, I thought we had to do something new or different in the work. Otherwise, there was no point in me doing the original story. But with Wistoria, I tried to forget that idea and changed my thinking through discussions with the editor. The voice actor for Will in the anime version, Mr. Amasaki, said, "Will is a pure monster." But I myself was unsure if it was okay for the protagonist to be a pure monster. However, Aoi-sensei and the editor supported my character, and the current character of Will was created.
Even at the stage of the first chapter of the magazine serialization, I feel Ōmori-sensei was going through a lot of trial and error.
When building the characters for Wistoria, was there anything Ōmori-sensei asked of you, Aoi-sensei?
Regarding character design, I specified things like glasses and goggles, hair color, etc., but I left the rest of the design to Aoi-sensei. The designs he sent me were almost all approved on the first try.
The protagonist, Will, is usually calm and kind, but in battle, he has a rather brave and fierce atmosphere. Was it difficult to express that balance and gap through the artwork?
Regarding that, I entered this industry solely through drawing battle scenes, and the first major award I received was for drawing skills, so I was confident in action scenes. So when starting this new serialization, not knowing right from left as a manga artist, the one thing I could cling to was action. While my skills was still insufficient, Ōmori-sensei brought out the charm of the characters through the story, and I somehow managed to draw cute everyday scenes. But to be honest, if I could redraw the first episode, I would like to do so.
Probably all creators feel the same way as you do.
The female characters in Wistoria, like childhood friend Alfaria and classmate Colette, are very cute.
In this work, it's not just the girls who are heroines. Every character is cute. I think cute is the strongest trait among characteristics. Every character has something cute about them, and even the old man and old woman characters have cute points.
In the recent voice actor interview with Mr. Amasaki, Miss Akira Sakine as Alfaria, and Miss Satomi Amano as Colette, there was even a theory that Will himself is the heroine.
If everyone thinks that, it's the greatest honor for an original author. Since I want to establish Will as the protagonist, I would be honored if people could find his cuteness within that.
I also thought it was unusual that the protagonist's goal is to reach Alfaria, who is waiting at the top of the tower.
I'm the type who starts by thinking about the point where the story will land and then works backward from there. But when creating Wistoria, the first thing that came to mind was a scene where a certain heroine and protagonist fight together. In order to depict that in the manga, the relationship of the heroine being at the top of the tower the protagonist looks up to felt just right.
Will has few allies and can't use magic, so he's in a really tough spot. When I watch the anime, I wonder how much Ōmori-sensei wants to torment Will.
That's not my intention. I think I just wanted to give the protagonist a sense of being different. I probably don't believe that the number of friends around the protagonist directly reflects his humanity. I might prefer writing stories that focus on deep bonds, like quality over quantity and human relationships. Also, I like the feeling of him being recognized by those around him and his relationships gradually expanding.
I felt that Will's determination to never give up and carve his own path, no matter what difficulties he faces, is the classic trait of a shonen manga protagonist.
Thank you very much. But on the flip side, it's also a cliché setting, so I did worry. Did I make the story too cliché? That's why I'm glad to hear you say that.
Aoi-sensei, could you tell us which characters were difficult to draw as you worked on the manga?
Probably Edwald and Wagner. I thought the story needed teacher characters with dignity, so at first I drew them as much older men. But Ōmori-sensei directed me to make them a bit younger. Since Edwald and Wagner also have their own conflicts and worries, I agreed that making them too old and fully formed wouldn't be good. After several discussions with Ōmori-sensei, I lowered their apparent ages.
Ōmori-sensei, is there anything you were particular about in the story or structure of Wistoria?
Isn't it difficult to create a self-contained story and structure for each episode in a monthly magazine?
I was very particular about the cliffhanger at the end of each episode, and even more so the cliffhanger at the end of each comic volume. Sometimes I was so focused on fitting the story within the allotted space that I ended up cutting parts of the story, which is something I reflected on a lot in the early stages of Wistoria.
Aoi-sensei's depictions and drawing skills are amazing, so I thought it must be quite tough to write a story that matches that level.
When I received the plot for a certain magic scene in Volume 5, I thought, Ōmori-sensei really doesn't hold back. I was like, I've never drawn anything like this before, but I did my best to draw the manga. Since then, he sent me some outrageous plots from time to time. It might be presumptuous to say this, but I hope the manga becomes something where we both have a positive influence on each other. I always feel like Ōmori-sensei's plots pull me up, so thanks to him, I think my art is improving.
At this point, I don't think I could live without Aoi-sensei. However, even for Aoi-sensei, I felt that the romantic comedy scenes, which are planned to be animated in the future, were quite a struggle. I was worried, thinking maybe I sent him a weird story draft. I couldn't calm down.
I always liked drawing battle scenes, but the editors often pointed out problems with my everyday life scenes. The rom-com episode felt like I took a new step forward as a manga artist, and it's a memorable chapter for me. Ōmori-sensei also praised the art in that one.
The characters were really cute. I was like, Aoi-sensei really is amazing.
So, Aoi-sensei, through that experience, you gained a new weapon in drawing romance scenes.
Even so, when I look back at the drawings now, there are still many points to reflect on. Thanks to Ōmori-sensei, I've been able to challenge various situations.
When did you first hear about the anime adaptation?
Actually, we received an offer from the production company when Volume 2 of the Wistoria comic was released. The development was so fast, I remember being really surprised.
I received the anime proposal in August 2021. The manga started serialization in the magazine in December 2020.
I'm truly grateful that the production company raised their hand at such an early stage.
For manga artists, having their work adapted into an anime is a huge event, isn't it?
I think that's especially true for me. I've always loved anime, and seeing action scenes in anime made me want to try drawing manga, so having my work adapted into an anime was a big dream of mine. Also, as a fan of director Tatsuya, who has worked on various works, when I heard he would be producing the anime adaptation of my manga, I thought, is this a dream?
When the anime project started, did you make any requests to the production side?
Rather than making one-sided requests, it felt like we created Wistoria together through discussions with the anime staff. Of course, both Aoi-sensei and I made suggestions, but director Yoshihara also made proposals. We exchanged opinions, and though it might sound harsh, it felt like a healthy sparring match. By sharing our thoughts, the work kept getting better, and there was a really positive atmosphere. I truly thought it was a wonderful production environment. I felt that having a relationship where we can respect each other is really great.
I often hear from anime directors and staff that it's easier to produce when they can communicate freely with the original creators.
That's right. Thanks to the good environment they created, I think we were able to share what we wanted to say. At first, we were both a bit reserved, but we made sure to communicate our thoughts to the production side, and in the end, we left it up to the director. As a result, the first episode of the completed anime was so amazing, it made me want to flip over in surprise.
I imagine the anime production side sent you various things, like character settings, Ali-sensei. How was that?
Since talented people were involved in the anime production, even the character designs they showed me the first time were already at a level where I could see the goal. For me, I only gave minor feedback, like tips on how to draw the character's silhouettes, this character is easier to draw if you make them more square, or the legs should be about this long. After that, they came back with really cool illustrations, so I felt truly blessed with excellent staff. Also, thanks to those little adjustments, I think we created something that original manga fans can be satisfied with. I feel like I was able to leave everything to the animators, and they made a wonderful work.
I think anime is a comprehensive art form, so I believe not a single person involved can be missing. Everyone pays attention to make sure there are no weak points in the anime, and I think that's why the production cycle is running so well.
I heard that both of you also participated in the discussions about casting the voice actors.
Once the candidates for each character's voice actor were lined up, the director would suggest, "How about this person?" and I would choose from among them. Among the cast, the one who left the strongest impression was Mr. Amasaki. The moment I heard his voice, I immediately said, "I want Mr. Amasaki."
I also listened to the voices of everyone who participated in the audition, and I felt that Amasaki-san really shone.
He was the closest to the image of the protagonist Will that we had. The sound team apparently imagined a slightly higher-pitched voice for the role, but as we talked with the anime staff, they said, "So your idea of a classic shonen manga hero is Mr. Amasaki's voice," and that made me feel convinced all over again.
I heard you attend the anime recording sessions for every episode. Do you ever give advice to the cast?
Basically, I'm the kind of person who likes to listen to the performances everyone has created and brought, and I also want to see the chemistry between the cast members, so I let them do it freely. When I felt direction was necessary, I discussed it with the director and sound director, and had them convey it to the cast.
I think the same as Ōmori-sensei. Sometimes I share the intent behind the original depiction and confirm it with the cast, but that's about it. The voice actors' performances were so wonderful that the two of us really enjoyed being at the recording sessions.
I'm truly having a luxurious time.
The cast lineup is just too extravagant, isn't it?
May I ask both of you for your impressions after actually watching the anime footage?
The quality was so high, I thought it was a theatrical anime, and I was left speechless. I was deeply moved, feeling that it had become a wonderful gateway into the fantasy world.
I also felt that just watching the first episode of Wistoria gave me a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, enough for it to stand as a theatrical release.
After seeing that first episode, our expectations for the future inevitably become even higher. I trust director Yoshihara and the team, and I hope they can work freely and relaxed. I'm watching over them with the feeling of cheering them on in my heart.
When I saw the anime at the advanced screening, I was crying non-stop from about the start of Part B.
The reason I was crying was because I felt that the animation stuff I respect so much were showing real respect toward our manga. The anime Wistoria really conveyed the charm of the original manga, and I was overwhelmed with emotion. The way the characters walk, breathe, move their hands, everything was treated with such care. For example, when Kiki pauses for a moment before running, even details so subtle that viewers might not notice were brought to life with such soul and dedication in the animation.
Each character's expressions and movements are depicted so carefully in the anime.
Exactly. Normally it's difficult to do this in anime, and it's rare to have it done to this extent, so I'm truly overwhelmed with emotion.
Lastly, please introduce the highlights of the anime and share a message for the fans.
Beautiful visuals, music, and powerful action. These three pillars support the anime. When you watch, I hope you enjoy it with all your senses. The cast's performances are amazing, so please don't miss their voices.
Since I think Ōmori-sensei deliberately didn't mention this, I want everyone to watch and experience the profound story spun by Fujino Ōmori-sensei.
Please don't say things like that.
But truly, I want not only fans of the original, but also those experiencing Wistoria for the first time to see how Ōmori-sensei's story and worldview are expressed in the anime.
And I hope you'll immerse yourself in the animation and action brought to life by director Yoshihara and the staff. With the voice actors' performances, the characters' appeal is even greater, so please enjoy that as well. In addition, Yuki Hayashi's background music is wonderful. I'm amazed at how much talent he's poured into Wistoria. Since the anime airs in the evening, I'd be happy if families could watch together. Please continue to support both the anime and the original manga versions of Wistoria.